Welcome to the DCTV News at Noon program. I'm Kelsey Kiesling.
And I'm Kendra Cook. The Southwest TV Translator Association underwrites the news, and Dolores County Broadcasting Network provides the support for DCTV.
Here at the News at Noon show, we present news we hope you find interesting and report on local issues and events. Call us with your news tips or topics you'd like to see covered. The number is 677-4119.
We appreciate you watching DCTV. Today's show is live Tuesday at noon and rebroadcast at 2:30 and 6 p.m. and re-aired on Friday at noon, 2:30 and 6.
Coming up, the local weather story, closures and concerns, area agritourism, a marijuana moment, and more.
Find out about a creek death in Pagosa, what's happening at Hesperus Ski Area, Mancos Brewing move, along with the weather, sheriff's report, and the area happenings.
That's all coming up today, February 28th, 2017. Now here's the news.
Winter hasn't left us just yet, and this snow event still maintains a winter weather advisory alert until the end of Tuesday for our local area. The Cortez Journal reported an update on the winter weather returning to southwest Colorado, bringing heavy, wet snow to the area. Montezuma, Cortez, Dolores, and Mancos schools canceled classes on Tuesday. Dove Creek, however, is open. All three districts had announced 2-hour delays early Tuesday morning, but began announcing cancellations after 7 a.m. Durango and Bayfield school districts also canceled classes Tuesday. Snowfall is expected to increase through today, with up to 18 inches falling in the mountains, and a winter storm warning in its effect through Tuesday for the mountains, including the towns of Telluride, Rico, Silverton, and Crested Butte. Chainsaw laws were in effect on U.S. Highway 160 at Wolf Creek Pass, U.S. Highway 550 at Coalbank, and Molas and Red Mountain passes. Julie Malingowski, a meteorologist for the Weather Service office in Grand Junction, said precipitation is expected to gradually pick up into the afternoon and spread into the lower elevations. On Tuesday, 3 to 6 inches of snow is expected at about 6,000 feet in the Cortez area. Overnight low temperatures on Tuesday are expected to fall to about 13 degrees, so remaining slush or melt-off may become icy. Empire Electric began responding to downed power lines around midnight last night, said dispatcher Jason Bell. By 9 a.m., about a dozen electric lines were down because of fallen tree limbs and heavy snow on the wires. Power outages affected services in Cortez, Toyac, Mancos, Dolores, and Luis Arreola. Crews are chasing them down as the calls come in, Bell said. Montezuma County Road and Bridge Director Rob Engelhardt said he expected most of the snow on the roads to be clear by the afternoon, but he cautioned drivers to watch their speed. The heaviest snowfall was between Road N and Pleasant View, as well as the Dolores area. Mesa Verde National Park was closed Tuesday, according to the park's official Facebook page. More than 2 feet of snow was drifting in some areas of the park. The Colorado Department of Transportation reported avalanche work Tuesday on most mountain passes in southwest Colorado, including Lizard Head Pass on Colorado Highway 145 and Red Mountain, Molas, and Coalbank passes on U.S. Highway 550. Drivers were cautioned to expect spot closures throughout the day. Sunny skies are expected to return Wednesday through Sunday, with high temperatures reaching the upper 40s by the end of the week. In the high country, Malingowski said estimates show that nearly 2 feet of snow could fall. Stay tuned, as we'll have more details in our weather forecast later on in the program.
Reported by the Cortez Journal, a Pagosa Springs man was found dead February 18th, more than a week after his family reported him missing, according to Archuleta County Undersheriff Tanya Hamilton. John Charles Allen Sr., 47, went missing February 10th. His family reported him missing to the Pagosa Springs Police Department the next evening, saying Allen had left home without notifying anyone. Around 6 p.m. February 18th, a manager at Mask Ranch reported a vehicle was in Mill Creek off of Light Plant Road just south of Pagosa Springs. Authorities ran the vehicle's license plate number, which came back as belonging to Allen, Hamilton said. His body was found 30 feet downstream, and his family was notified later that evening. A Colorado State Patrol report says Allen's vehicle, a 2001 Audi, was southbound on Light Plant Road when it went over an embankment on a sharp left curve, flipping on its top into Mill Creek. Authorities believe the crash occurred several days before it was discovered. Archuleta County Coroner Dan Kuning did not immediately respond to requests for comment Monday. According to an obituary, Allen grew up in Tujunga, California, north of Los Angeles. He attended San Bernardino Valley College, earning an automotive associate's degree. Allen moved to Pagosa Springs in 2007.
Reported in the Cortez Journal, novice and experienced growers gathered in Mancos last Friday, February 24th, for a course presented by Guidestone Colorado, a nonprofit organization that provides agriculture education. About 30 people attended the meeting at the Mount Lookout Grange to discuss topics such as agritourism and farm planning. The workshop's goal was to create opportunities for aspiring farmers on how to get started. Jennifer Visitacion, Guidestone's executive director, said, "Our hope is that we're helping people who are interested to see if farming is right for them and what their next steps are." Participants also discussed how to diversify farm portfolios and which kinds of agriculture are needed in southwest Colorado. Experienced farmers shared knowledge with new farmers. Mindy Perkovich, who grows vegetables just outside Mancos, said it's good to see what other growers in this area are up to. Tiana Lemley of Bayfield said she wanted to see how she might get started and was encouraged. "There are a lot more younger people here than I anticipated," she said. "It shows farming is not a dying field, it just needs some support." Dave Hodges of Nucla recently started a small orchard and now sees a potential for livestock and poultry. He attended the workshop to learn about resources and getting started. Sophia Kusumoto Puryear is working in Macalmo Canyon as an intern with Worldwide Opportunities on Organic Farms. She was interested in how to make local food more accessible and how different farmers think and share their varied philosophies. Raymond Wharton, who lives in Mancos Valley, said he attended to see the broad picture of the region's agriculture. Growers are constantly trying to keep up with trends. Guidestone's motto is, "We grow farmers." For more information on all their services, go online to guidestonecolorado.org.
Reported by the Cortez Journal, a new water catchment system and birth control DART program have stabilized the Spring Creek Basin wild horse herd in Disappointment Valley. Today, a manageable 62 wild Mustangs roam the 22,000-acre swath of BLM land southwest of Norwood, down from 119 horses in 2007. "We're keeping the horse population in balance with what the range can support," said TJ Holmes, a BLM volunteer who helps manage the herd. "The herd is healthier and so is the range, with grasses coming on strong and a variety of vegetation. The key to controlling the wild horse population is administering a contraceptive called porcine zona pellucide, or PZP, to certain mares each season, starting every March. Dosages have been delivered via dart gun by Holmes and BLM staff to selected mares in order to reduce birth rates in a way that supports genetic diversity. Our objective is to treat 17 mares this year," said Mike Jensen, range specialist for the BLM's Tres Rios district. Since it began in 2012, the PZP program has effectively controlled the Spring Creek horse population and prevented roundups. In 2011, before the fertility controls were in place, 14 foals were born to the herd. After treatment, the number of foals dropped to 8 in 2013, 7 in 2014, and just 2 foals in 2015. Holmes reported that in 2016, 4 foals were born and 4 adult horses disappeared and are presumed dead. The contraceptive method has become the preferred strategy to manage wild horse populations, which can quickly get out of control if left alone.
Needles Outpost is for sale at the Sitla Land May sale, according to the Salt Lake Tribune. Tracy Napoleon and Gary Knetch bought the Needles Outpost in 1997, but things started going wrong. The trailer hookups didn't work, the buildings were barely usable, and few customers showed up. The electrical generators blew up 3 months later, flash floods took out the landing strip, and the landowner, which happens to be a state agency, quadrupled the rent in 2009. The couple soldiered on, according to court records, investing $600,000 in the campground, gas station, and convenience store just outside the Needles entrance to Canyonlands National Park. They operated under a lease with the Utah School and Institutional Trust Lands Administration, or SITLA, that was supposed to run through 2045. But after a court battle, the agency evicted Napoleon and Knetch in 2015, citing run-ins with visitors that resulted in criminal convictions. One arose from a stack of quarters thrown at a visitor, another from a rock hurled through a vehicle window, and a third for selling alcohol to a minor, according to court records. Now, officials plan to sell the outpost's 640-acre section, which sits where the National Park and the new Bears Ears National Monument abut near San Juan County's Indian Creek. It's the only place within 45 miles for park visitors to buy gas or groceries. Sitla officials are accepting sealed bids for the property, with the floor set for just over $1 million. The couple believes Sitla did not treat them fairly and may have even undermined the viability of the outpost. According to Kim Christie, Sitla's deputy director, evicting Kniech had nothing to do with the decision to sell the 1 square mile property. History doesn't speak to that because we were trying to work through this for years to get a different outcome than what happened, Christie said. Our agency was extremely patient to work through these issues over years. It turned on public safety. Bids on the property will be opened at Sitla's next twice-a-year auction May 24th, when the 3 high bids, along with those in the ballpark, will be invited to participate in oral bidding. Sitla, which manages 3.2 million acres of trust lands for the benefit of Utah schools, has been ramping up land sales in recent years with the rebound of the real estate market. Many of these parcels are on scenic lands near national monuments and parks and other protected landscapes.
According to the Cortez Journal, Hesperus Ski Area has been shut down since Tuesday after the Colorado Passenger Tramway Safety Board visited it during a routine inspection and found maintenance and operational issues that must be addressed. In a short statement Friday, the Passenger Tramway Safety Board gave no specifics about the inspection or what maintenance and operational issues were found. The Hesperus Ski Area has voluntarily shut down to address maintenance and operation issues that were identified during a routine inspection by the Colorado Passenger Tramway Safety Board. Lee Rassizer, spokesman for the agency, wrote in an email to the Herald. The board will need to verify that all necessary corrections are completed before the area will be authorized to resume lift operations. Purgatory Resort, which is part of a ski area collective in the Southwest, including Hesperus, also gave no specifics. Hesperus Ski Area has temporarily closed its operations to take care of deferred maintenance, and it will reopen as soon as possible, wrote Kim Euler in an email to the Herald. All Hesperus passes will be honored at Purgatory Resort during the closure. When asked for further explanation, Euler said lift maintenance is needed. Officials are still assessing the timeline for the closure because parts for the lift are on order, but they should know more soon, she wrote in an email Friday. The Durango Herald on Friday filed an open records request for the Passenger Tramway Safety Board seeking more information. And now let's take a look at our weather.
We talked earlier at the top of the program, about the winter weather advisory continuing through Tuesday night for our area. Current temperatures at DCTV is holding just at the freezing mark of 31 degrees, but those light winds are bringing the chill factor into play, so it still feels in the 20s. You can see on our regional satellite image here that the cold snow mass is still hanging over the Four Corners, but behind that to our west there's nothing lurking, so a high pressure system should follow, clearing out the precipitation and warming up the air. As to the country to our east, you can see there's the path of continued rain and snowstorms pushing across the entire Midwest, headed eastward. Our area snow reports, courtesy weather.gov, are showing as of nearly 9 a.m. this morning 3 inches in West Monticello, 4 inches north of Moab, 4 inches in Cajon, 5.3 inches in Yellow Jacket, 6.5 inches in Areola, 9.5 inches in Dolores, 5 inches in Mancos, a foot in Hesperus, 5.6 inches in Durango, and 13.5 inches in Telluride. For the national forecast, again, nationally, that band of intense weather is moving to our east. The NWS update says that a line of very heavy snow developed over the eastern Paradox Valley, impacting the US 550 corridor from Montrose to Kelowna this morning. Visibility has dropped to 1/4 mile in heavy snow at the Montrose Airport, and these conditions will persist at least through noon, if not through early afternoon. Snow has ended in eastern Utah and extreme northwest Colorado. The snow is ending across the southwestern Colorado valleys, but still anticipating the possibility of up to an inch of snow over the next couple of hours, and a convective shower or two possible this afternoon as well. All models highlight the heaviest snowfall over the central mountains southward, expecting more accumulating snow for today. Then that pattern moves out to our east. Northwesterly flow will keep some snowfall going over the divide, but this precip looks to be more showery in nature, according to the NWS. Expect clouds to slowly start lifting from the northwest to the southeast, with noticeable improvements mid-afternoon onwards. By daybreak Wednesday, all but a few showers will have ended as flows become generally zonal in nature. Expect mostly sunny skies except for the northern mountains, where more clouds may persist. High temperatures will run about 10 degrees below normal, but this will be short-lived as a warm-up in full begins on Thursday. For DCTV's 5-day forecast, it's showing the warm-up of temperatures, rising through the week from the 30s to the mid-upper 40s, while the overnight lows will be cold in the teens tonight and through Thursday night. That will also show a warming up into the 20s and even 30s for the evenings by weekend. No other forecast is indicating precipitation potential for the end of the week, so disregard that graphic here for now. We'll bring you more insights on Wednesday's news as to how the weekend is shaping up. And now, back to the news.
This story is by the Cortez Journal. Mancos may soon see the return of a historical museum. Linda Simmons, president of the Mancos Valley Historical Society, told the Board of Trustees at their meeting Wednesday the group has found a location for a museum and is gathering inventory and donations to get it up and running. We're really excited to have something happening in the near future, she said. The group has agreed to a 10-year lease with the Mancos Fire Protection District to house the museum in 2 bays of the old fire station at the corner of Main Street and Bauer Avenue, Simmons said. The Historical Society has set a goal to raise $57,500 through donations and grants to fund the museum, she said. Renovations won't start on the space until the Society has raised all of that money, she added. Mancos previously had a history museum, but it was closed down several years ago, Simmons said. The group's vision for the museum is to include a variety of items and educational topics related to Mancos, with a focus on the Old West, including mining, Simmons said. Also at the museum will be a collection of antique firearms owned by the Historical Society member Ben Walcott. The collection, which includes weapons dating as far back as the Civil War, is currently on loan at the Montezuma County Sheriff's Office. The museum also will include historical books and educational programs that will serve all people in the community, Simmons said. We want to broadly represent the history of Mancos, Simmons told the board. The Historical Society will rely on volunteers to run the museum until they can hire some staff members.
Our marijuana moment today comes from the Cortez Journal, when a White House spokesman last week said the Department of Justice likely would step up enforcement of federal marijuana laws in states where recreational pot is legal. Coloradans took note. Many Colorado lawmakers say that would be an infringement on states' rights, but most were more concerned with the connection White House Press Secretary Sean Spicer drew between recreational marijuana and the nation's growing opioid crisis. State Senator Tim Neville, Republican of Littleton, said, "I think there was definitely a disconnect there." Multiple news outlets, including CNN and Forbes, have pointed out Spicer's remarks. In fact, states where medical marijuana is legal, they have lower numbers of opioid-related deaths. A study led by Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health points to the drop-off being as high as 25% in states where medical marijuana is legal. It is attributed to the use of medical marijuana for treatment of chronic pain instead of opioid-based medications. Stephen Fenster, associate professor of biology at Fort Lewis College, said connecting marijuana usage and opioid addiction is a stretch, as the two substances interact with brains in different ways. The scientific evidence does not support that, Fenster said. Senator Sherry John, Democrat of Wheat Ridge, said prescription practices with opioids and drug addiction are directly connected, and marijuana does not act as a gateway. "I think the thing that leads to other drugs is you have doctors prescribing large quantities of opioids after surgery or dental work. When they don't need a 30, 60, or 90-day supply, they really could have had a 5-day supply," John said. Fenster also pointed to the increased access to opioid medications as the driving factor behind the nationwide uptick in addiction. Senator Vicki Marble, Republican from Fort Collins, said she believes there is a connection between pot and drug problems. It has nothing to do with the smoking of marijuana, but the restrictions on where it can be smoked, she said. "What I fear is that if we keep promoting marijuana in the state and not giving these people a safe place to go, they're going to find those underground outlets, and that is where you run into more of the illicit drugs and drug problems." Marble is sponsoring Senate Bill 63, which would license marijuana clubs and allow local jurisdictions to decide if they were right for the areas in an effort for remedying that problem. Fenster said there is evidence of marijuana having addictive qualities, but not on par with opioid-based medications. But there is a lack of quality studies on the effects of marijuana because of its status as a Schedule I drug by the Federal Drug Enforcement Administration. In response to Spicer's remarks, Senator Steve Fenberg, Democrat from Boulder, released a statement last Thursday asking his colleagues to stand together against what could be an upcoming attack on states' rights. Fenberg doubled down on his criticism of the White House's statements, which he sees as being at odds with campaign promises from Trump. He said, "I think that it's frankly hypocritical. I think the administration has shown that they support states' rights when it's ideologically convenient for them." John said she agreed with Fenberg that Spicer's statements seemed at odds with the message of states' rights, but doesn't see it changing the operations of the marijuana industry in Colorado. The general consensus around the Capitol is that Amendment 64, which legalized retail sales of marijuana in Colorado, is the law of the land and would be protected by elected officials.
The Mancos Brewery Company is preparing to move to a new, larger space this spring, co-founder and brewer Dwayne Jackson said Monday. According to the Cortez Journal, currently at 500 West Railroad Avenue in Mancos, the brewery will move to the current Alpaca Rafts manufacturing facility, Jackson said. They plan to make the move in late April or early May, and he hopes for a quick turnaround between closing the current location and moving to the new space, he said. The new location is about 4 times bigger than the current pub on a 2-acre property. We want to keep saturating the Mancos Valley with best beer we can make, Jackson said. The outdoor patio at the new location also will be 4 or 5 times larger than the current pub's outdoor seating area, he said. There will be a stage booth indoors and outdoors, and there will be live music year-round, he said. We plan to do music every weekend, he said. In addition to the larger space, Jackson will be upgrading the brewing system from 1.5 barrels to 7. The brewery has 6 house beers that are continuously on tap, and Jackson plans to add 1 or 2 more to that lineup with the move to the larger brewing system.
According to the Cortez Journal, an exhibit arriving at the Anasazi Heritage Center in March will focus on the family that helped pioneer archaeology in Montezuma County. Trowels, Trading Post, and Travelers is the name of the exhibit, which opens March 10th. It will chronicle the lives of the Wetherhill family, a clan of Irish Quakers who emigrated to the Mancos area during the 19th century. They are credited with putting Mesa Verde and other ancestral Pueblo ruins on the map, as well as being among the first to identify the ancient basket maker culture. Sarah Thompson, the Heritage Center's exhibit developer, gave a presentation on the new exhibit at the Heritage Center's annual Volunteer Appreciation Luncheon on Saturday, in which she promised it would tell the Wetherhills' story in a detailed, interactive way. Because of the family's huge size and equally huge contributions to local archaeology, Thompson said it was difficult to narrow down the information about them in the exhibit to a single cohesive theme. She eventually decided to focus on their collaboration with the Native American tribes in the area, which she said was a key factor in their archaeological achievements. What it all boiled down to was the relationships that the Wetherhills had with the people around them, she said. They were Quakers, and they believed in this concept of inner light. They were accepting of Native Americans, women, and people of all different backgrounds. This will be the second exhibit Thompson has designed for the Heritage Center. It will replace Weaving Stories, Basketry in the Southwest, which was displayed in the Special Exhibit Gallery from 2016 to 2017. Visitors to the Wetherhill exhibit will receive a character card at the entrance that contains some key facts about a member of the family, as well as a picture of their signature artifact, which will appear somewhere in the gallery. Part of the exhibit will attempt to recreate what the shelves in one of the Wetherhills trading posts might have looked like. Other displays will include some of the family's possessions, Native American artifacts they discovered, photos, and audio recordings taken from them and some of their descendants. The collection is made up of the Heritage Center's own artifacts and documents, as well as several items on loan from other collectors. The exhibit will be on display for a year. Thompson said the Heritage Center will invite historians to give a few public presentations related to the Wetherhills during that time, and she even hinted there may be a virtual exhibit available on the museum's website sometime soon. In the meantime, volunteers and museum staff are in the process of repainting and furnishing the gallery, and Thompson said she expects them to be done in plenty of time for the exhibit's grand opening at 6 p.m. Friday, March 10th. It's free to attend. For more information, you can contact the museum at 970-882-5600.
And now for the Dolores County Sheriff's Roundup for the week of February 20th through the 26th. Received a report of a suicidal subject in Rico. An officer responded and contacted the subject, who was fine. A vehicle unlock was performed successfully in town. A deputy and a DCVAS ambulance was dispatched to a rollover accident on Highway 491 south of town. The driver refused medical help and a tow truck was called. Help was requested by another agency concerning a resident of Egner. An officer responded and the individual was taken to the hospital for evaluation. That's it for today's roundup. Stay tuned for continuing updates.
And here's today's High Country happenings. Known as the Durango Dylan, singer-songwriter Tom Chacon will perform at the Sunflower Theater on Friday, March 10th, beginning at 7 p.m., with an opening act by local favorites, the Tomlins. Huffington Post heralded Chacon as one of the most important songwriters of our time. Don't miss Chacon and the Tomlins live at the Sunflower Theater at KSJD. Tickets are $15. For more information and tickets, visit sunflowertheater.org. Friday, March 3rd at 6 a.m., registration opens for the 12 Hours of Mesa Verde Mountain Bike Race. The event will be held on May 13th, 2017 at Phil's World in Cortez. Prices range from $95 to $300. For more details, visit 12hoursofmesaverde.com. And March 4th and 5th, the Four Corners School of Outdoor Education is hosting their Splash Into the Plateau annual conference to learn refreshing, rejuvenating ideas about teaching traditional concepts. Choose from session topics covering hands-on, outdoor, experimental, and culturally inclusive teaching and learning techniques. Outstanding networking opportunities abound for partnerships and idea sharing. The cost is $75. For more details, visit fourcornersschool.org. All of the happenings are listed on the DCTV Facebook page. Check it out. We hope to be bringing you the news at noon as a live streaming feed there too very soon. If you have news or event information you'd like us to share, send us an email at dcbnnews@gmail.com or call us here at the station, the number 677-4119.
Thanks for tuning in. A reminder that this program is aired live at noon Monday through Wednesday, then rebroadcast at 2:30 and now 6 p.m., and again aired Thursday, Friday, and Saturday in the same order at noon, 2:30, and 6 p.m. each day respectively.
And again, check us out on Facebook. It's DCTV News at Noon. Like us there and join the local conversation and share it with a friend. A program note, our Talk Tuesday live call-in show will begin airing live on Tuesdays in the evenings at 5:30 p.m. and can be re-seen broadcast nightly thereafter at 5:30 before the evening news replays.
For Kendra Cook and everyone at DCTV with the News at Noon program out of Dove Creek, USA, I'm Kelsey Kiesling. Thanks for watching.